Like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like kung fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world. We're the perfect team. You're my dream, and I just want it.
Can't get to myself. Can't get to myself. Cannot live without coffee. Bless your soul, coffee. Bless your soul. Alright, let's get started. So this video is going to be a video of how I started modeling. So I got into modeling at a very young age. I didn't technically start until I was 19 though. I always wanted to model. I always knew I wanted to model, but I never really pursued it, I guess you can say, until I was like around 19, 20-ish. And I remember going to an agency in Scottsdale, Arizona, and I remember waiting in this waiting room. I was about 14 years old, and it was so inspiring. I remember there was like TVs everywhere and like videos of girls just walking on the runway. Like, I was so inspired when I was sitting in that room. But anyways, I had my interview and everything went well. But of course, when you start modeling, you have to pay for, your portfolio, to start your portfolio and, really have good photos so you can get bookings. So I basically, it was really hard for my family back then, so I couldn't really get into an agency at that time. Or either way, you have to, get discovered somehow. And obviously at that age, like, social media was not big whatsoever, so I had no clue about marketing myself and things like that. So I didn't really pursue it until I was like 19 years old. So after I left that interview, I was so heartbroken because, I couldn't really afford anything at that time, and it was about an hour away from where I lived. So that agency was actually in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we lived in Goodyear, Arizona, so that was about like a 30-40 minute drive. Actually, I want to say it was like a 40-minute drive. And having to drive out there, especially with school and sports and things like that, it was super hard on me, so I didn't pursue it, and I never really thought I was going to have the chance to actually start modeling. So going back into time, around 14, 15 years old, I was really into music. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but I really loved rockabilly music, and I still do. And so I was really inspired by the vintage and pinup scene. So I really focused on that type of modeling. So my area was based on pinup modeling. And so at that age, I already knew like what my style was, and I dressed a certain way. So going back, now, forwarding, going to 19 years old, I was, really involved still in that type of community. All of my friends were really into that music and style. So I would see all of these girls that were pinup models, and I thought, oh my god, they look so beautiful. Look at their hair, look at their clothes. They are so sexy. Like, I need to be a pinup model. Like, I need to model, So like, I didn't really know how to even start. I was like, okay, how am I gonna start modeling? Like, there are some girls that are getting published in magazines, and I'm like, how do I do this, So I really started to, network in that community, and I started going to a lot of car shows. And I really love classic cars. And again, I really loved that vintage pinup scene. Like, I really loved how their hair and style was. Like, I just loved that style. Loved it. And, I'll try to go ahead and put some old photos of myself. That way you can see how I dressed. I still love that style, but I'm a little bit more modern now, so I don't dress like that as much. But honestly, I really appreciate the music and the style and the culture overall. I just really love it. But anyways, so when I was going to these car shows, I was meeting a lot of people. And I remember just dressing up for these car shows and really going all out. Like, I loved to dress up sexy, and I loved to dress up really pretty with my dresses. I really loved all the circle skirts and pencil skirts and those really hot corset tops. Like, I loved that stuff. So I would dress really out there, I guess, for these car shows. And randomly, like, all of these photographers were like, hey, can I take a picture of you? Can you pose on my car, please? And I was like, oh my god, I'm a celebrity, I'm famous. Like, yes, you can take a picture of me, go ahead. So I would like pose in the car, and like I was all about it. And that's basically how I started. Mind you, I still did not know what the hell I was doing. Like, I didn't know where to even really begin at that point. But I started networking a lot. And so yeah, so then people started messaging me on Facebook. This is when Facebook was still kind of brand new, and we were kind of getting rid of the old MySpace days. So, you know, I would get people messaging me on Facebook, hey May, do you want to, you know, set up a shoot? So I was like, yes, of course, like, you know, what theme are we doing? Like, how do you want me to dress? You know, things like that. So that's how I kind of started. And then I really started to get really focused on it. And mind you, I had a 9-to-5 job. Like, I was a hustler. I was working all of the time. But honestly, modeling was like my passion. I always knew I wanted to do it. So I had weekends off. So on the weekends, like, I literally would have all of these bookings, and like I would, you know, hang out with my friends after the shoot or something. So like I literally prioritized my time with all of these photo shoots. So you know, the more I did it, the more I learned, like, okay, networking is so important. So then I discovered this website called Model Mayhem. And if you don't know what Model Mayhem is, it's basically a website source where a bunch of photographers, hairstylists, models, brands, they all collaborate. So you could be a beginner on Model Mayhem, or, you know, you're pretty much the bomb and you know your stuff. And either way, like, I can't even talk. I'm like so like excited about this. Anyways, so basically you can collaborate. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or you're more advanced. You can collaborate with all of these people. So I just put the photos that I had from all these car shows onto my Model Mayhem, and I had people around my city looking to collaborate. You know, whether it was a fashion shoot, a pinup shoot, glamour, any type of theme I was willing to do. So I would collaborate with all of these photographers and makeup artists, and we would schedule photo shoots. So that was another way how I started. After that, it was more of like a word of mouth, like, hey, you should really collaborate with this girl, or you should collaborate, you know, with this hairstylist, and, you know, you should work on this segment with this person. So honestly, it was all about networking. Like, that is key. And honestly, I really think like it depends like on your type of modeling. When you're beginning, it's really important to focus on one, I guess maybe one look, because after that, once you're like blown up and you're known, you can do any look you want, you know what I mean? But anyways, I was known for the vintage and pinup scene, and I was so fortunate to have publications. And again, this is just my personal experience. This is truly how I got into modeling, and this is how I believe that you can really, you know, start off as a beginner. And so after I was, you know, getting more known, I started doing pageants. I started doing like pinup contests, and they would just ask you questions on like, you know, who is your favorite vintage model? You know, where is your dress from? Like things like that. And so that was really nerve-wracking because, oh my God, just imagine a bunch of people looking at you and they're asking you all of these questions. Mind you, I never really like placed number one. However, I did win, I did place in some contests, but my gosh, like it was so nerve-wracking. So I kind of stopped doing that just because I didn't really like that. That wasn't me. But I loved doing fashion shows. So I would also do runway as well. I did a couple of fashion shows in Hollywood, and I was able to collaborate with amazing hairstylists that I was able to just really work with and get to know everyone from the hairstyle scene, and it was just amazing because I really got a lot of opportunities from them as well. And so yeah, so that's kind of how I started. And mind you, I know it's not like Vogue or anything like that, but these are magazines that you actually can pick up at the store and your face is on there. You know what I mean? So to me, that was like a big accomplishment. And I don't model as much anymore, but I am honestly thinking to, start up, doing some more segments again in 2017. I think it would be a great way to really, pursue. I think it would just be a great way to pursue more things for my channel, for my YouTube channel. So I really want to show you guys some of my publications, and I will show you guys some of my old photos as well. I don't really have a lot of printouts right now because I have to really dig into my house and search for them, but I'll show you a couple of things that I was able to get publications on. So I came out on the cart. This was my first cover, and mind you, I was all about the sexiness, so do not judge me. But this was my first cover, and I'm so proud of it. I was able to collaborate with a great photographer, and this was with Car Culture Deluxe. So this is my first cover right here. And as you can see, I'm like wearing like the high-waisted capris, the cute little crop top, and you can see like I have victory rolls on my hair. So totally vintage right there. I'll go ahead and show you some of my issues inside the magazine. Let me look for it. Somewhere around here. So I was able to get this segment as well. Mind you, I still can't believe it. I really can't. It was such a great experience, honestly. And this is also a part of it. So this was my first cover, and this was like my first real magazine. I was so happy because, my family members were actually able to pick this up at a grocery store, at a 7-Eleven, any bookstore. It was just so exciting. Like seeing my magazine in Barnes & Noble blew me away. I remember traveling to New York. I was on vacation with my boyfriend, and we went to New York, and I remember seeing my magazines at Barnes & Noble, and I was like, oh my god, like I actually accomplished one of my dreams, It was so surreal, and I'm just so happy, still so proud of it. So I'll go ahead and show you some more of my publications. This was on Old School Rods. This girl got the cover, she's so beautiful. But let me go ahead and show you my segment in here, which I'm also really proud of. Let's find it. Okay, so this one I was really proud of. I really loved how this photo came out. I love the photographer that I worked with on this one. I had such an amazing time. And the car owner was so amazing. Honestly, all of these people that you meet are so nice, and it's just such a privilege to work with such great and amazing people. So I got that segment in the magazine, and this was actually the car owner right here. So it was quite amazing. And then I was able to get into another Car Culture Deluxe magazine. This girl is so beautiful. She actually came out on a TV show. I cannot put my finger on it, but I grew up watching that show, so it was kind of like surreal seeing her face on here because I remember watching her on TV. So pretty cool. Let me go ahead and find my issue in here, if I can find it. So mind you, so this is, you know, this is like a very sexy pinup rockabilly look, you know, and it was just so fun, you know, working with this community and really getting to know everyone. Where is it? So this is my issue right here. As you can see, this magazine is so awesome. You have such amazing, you know, amazing vintage cars, classic cars, rat rods, hot rods. I mean, it's just so amazing. I loved going to car shows and I miss going to them so much. Maybe in the future I'll go again. And then I actually worked with another photographer in LA. She is just so amazing. I was able to get this calendar published. I really love this because this really signifies my culture. As you guys know, I am half Mexican and Cuban. So I love inspiring photos and really, you know, really doing photography that incorporates art and history and culture. Like, that's my thing right there. I really enjoy that. So these are just a couple of my publications, and honestly, I'm so proud. I just got notice that I am going to be in another publication for Elegant Magazine. It's a really, it's like a 60s, 70s theme. If you follow me on Instagram and Snapchat, you know how excited I am for that. And it's coming out this year and I just cannot believe it. And again, I am repeating myself, but if you want to get into modeling, you really need to prioritize. You really, really have to prioritize and be consistent. I mean, again, I was working a 9-to-5 job, and if you guys live in LA or California in general, you are not getting home until 7 p.m., 8 p.m. because of the traffic. I'm sorry, but there was times I didn't get home till super late, so I would, you know, schedule all of my bookings on the weekends, and that worked out for me, and I was able to actually do it. So I hope this video inspires you. And now that social media is bigger than ever, like, you're able to expand and grow even more. Because back then, you know, MySpace was, you know, there, but it wasn't really
like the attention, girl, I know you.
I don't think that was
But you're everything I wanted.
We're fighting danger like Kung Fu. Instagram was not even around. Snapchat was not around. So honestly, I feel like girls have more opportunity now than before. So it's so amazing. Take advantage of obviously, take advantage of social media. It's really huge. So I really hope this was helpful, and I'm just so happy that I was able to do this video for you guys. So I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Yeah, like the attention, girl, I know you. But you're everything I want in life. We're fighting danger like Kung Fu. The love I feel is deep inside. The others don't matter. It's honestly us against the world.